I can't wait to cry and be sad and have my heart broken. What's going on, guys? Happy New Year. And what better way to start the new year off than with a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth news. This is just like a little excerpt from the Game Informer interview they did a little while ago, but this part pertains just to Barrett and Dyne. So there are spoilers for this in this little article here, so if you don't want to know what's going on with the Coral Prison and Barrett's backstory, I advise coming back later after you play through either the OG game or you play through Rebirth and then checking this out. Just to kind of get in the headspace of what the developers were thinking at the time of doing this scene. But let's get into it real quick. This article says that FF7 is full of iconic scenes, whether you're talking about the well-known sequences already depicted in Remake or the upcoming gut punch at the Forgotten Capital. The Remake trilogy allows fans to experience these moments in their most full, realized forms. While this middle portion of FF7, which Rebirth depicts, focuses on Aerith and the looming specter of Sephiroth, so much of Rebirth's depiction emphasizes on deepening of relationships. And we know, or we can tell pretty much, that they're focusing very heavily on Rebirth being about friendship and relationships and stuff like that. You got the synergy attacks where you got team members teaming up and doing stuff, doing special moves together. And then you have the date sequences in Gold Saucer, where you can take certain characters on dates depending on how much you do with them. They have special quests for each character. Like there's a special quest we saw where you have to take Red with you. That's a Red 13 focused quest. So they're really focusing on building up the relationship and making not just Cloud feel like he has a family or whatever. The player, us, we're also getting to understand these characters much more than we have in previous titles like Crisis Core and OG and Advent Children and all that stuff. So they're really going in heavy on that. But it goes on to say this is true with how developers approach both the main story and side content in Rebirth. And it's sure to make it so Aerith's big scene, if that still plays out that way, is even more emotional than the original. And I guarantee you it will be. And hopefully they hit us with a little bit of a swerve and it doesn't happen the exact same way. Or if they do, I'm not sure they can still pull it off and it does happen the exact same way. Maybe they can still do that. Either way, I'm down for whatever they have planned. While sitting down with the producer Yoshinori Kitase, creative director Tetsuya Nomura, and director Naoki Hamaguchi, we got on the topic of being able to further depict these moments through modern hardware and the longer playtime afforded by splitting the original game into 3 separate titles. Well, this is, off the side, I just want to throw this out there. This is my opinion and stuff. This game being 3 parts and people saying that it's not a full game, they're crazy. It being 3 parts makes it even more of a full game because we get to see so much more of the world and get to spend so much more time with characters and side characters, and they get to really focus and dig deep into the lore of the world. So it being 3 parts is needed. I think it's beneficial, at least. Though the conversation started out about Aerith's arc and Sephiroth's role in the middle entry, it was clear the developers were excited to tell me about a different scene that takes place in the Coral Prison portion of the game. When the remake project was first decided, we already felt that if we were going to take on this series, it's imperative that we depict the characters much more deeply and go into more depth in approaching them, Nomura says. Not only Aerith's arc for Rebirth, but even other characters like Dyne, for example. I really wanted to show in a more detailed way for Rebirth that there's a scene I truly want to cry when I see it. Oh yes, that scene with Dyne is a great one, Hamaguchi says. It might be one of the top most wonderful scenes. Hamaguchi over here likes disaster, it seems. Or trauma. For those who haven't played FF7, Dyne is a childhood friend of Barrett and the biological father of Marlene. After a Shinra attack wipes out much of their town, Dyne and Barrett lose an arm while attempting to flee, and Dyne falls off a cliff. Assuming Dyne died in the fall, Barrett continues on and discovers that Marlene survived the attack, and he takes her into his care. Years later, Cloud and the party, including Barrett, find themselves in Coral Prison, only to learn that not only is Dyne still alive, but now he is the boss of Coral Prison, and has had the same surgery as Barrett, replacing the missing arm with a machine gun. The two reunite in an emotional scene that is likely even more emotional through the new depiction of FF7 Rebirth. So are we going to get the same ending to this? Again, spoilers for OG7, but at the end of this, we battle Dyne, we beat him, and then he jumps off the cliff to his death. Are they still gonna do that? Everything's been the same, and they're driving home that everything's going to play out the same. They're just expanding on parts of the game, and they're adding things in between to deepen the story and the lore. I've seen theories out there that Dine's not going to die this time. I definitely think he's going to still die. He's not going to want, the whole thing with his whole thing in OG is that he doesn't want Marlene to see the monster that he's become and all that. And I think that's still going to be very prevalent in this game. And this scene itself is going to be so emotional, along with the Cosmic Canyon scene with Red 13 and Seto and Bugenhagen. That scene itself is also going to be, there's going to be so many sad scenes in this game. I can't wait. I can't wait to cry and be sad and have my heart broken. Within Rebirth, the characters that we have all come to know and love are depicted quite fully and in depth, Nomura says. For me, the character from Coral Prison was quite memorable. I'm not sure if players remember him, but everywhere players go, there will be characters like that who we remember from the original game that are depicted in more detail. While Nomura loves that scene, Katase was surprised the original version, as drafted by scenario writer Nojima, made it into the final game. When we first received that scenario from Nojima, specifically the Coral Prison scene that Nomura mentioned, I initially thought we could cut it out or change it, Katase says. Again, Katase is the one trying to change Remake, or was the one trying to change Remake. I guess still even so trying to change Remake and not making what it is. And Nomura's the one trying to keep it on path as close to the original as possible. I thought certain scenes could be cut, but hearing Nomura-san and Hamaguchi-san's opinions on how they want to keep this, I conceded. But when you see it all come together, the final product and that scene, especially the Dine scene, I think, wow, this is amazing. It's crying worthy. I feel glad it's in there. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to see this scene featuring Dine during my demo, but from the way Square Enix's seasoned developers praise it, I'm even more excited to get my hands on the final product to experience it. Rebirth arrives on PS5 and February 29th. For more exclusive coverage, be sure to visit our hub through the banner below, which we'll be checking periodically because it seems like they're dropping little pieces here and there. I'm probably going to do so for hopefully the rest of the month leading up to February, and maybe leading up to a potential demo I keep hearing about. There's apparently rumors that there's a demo that everybody got to play. The calm flashback sequence could be a demo, which would be great. I would love for them to release that as a demo, as like a get ready, and then you can go ahead and play the demo and the tutorial, and then take that into Rebirth when it comes out, so you don't have to spend that time doing it when the game actually drops. But I mean, I'll be playing the demo like probably over and over again anyway. So but yeah, that'd be cool to have the demo come out. If you are excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I have been and will continue to be covering news, and once the game comes out, I'll have guides and stuff like that. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that stuff as it comes out. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.